Hi guys, today our lesson is going to be all about measurement using cups, quarts, gallons, and pints. So I told you to have some things ready when we did this lesson. You're going to need a piece of paper, some crayons or colored pencils, which I'm going to use, and you need a pen or a sharp, skinny pointed marker to do some labeling. So the first thing we're going to do is start out with your piece of paper here, and we're going to make measurement man or measurement gal, depending on which one you want to make. And I'm going to start out by putting a rectangle in the middle of my paper. And I'm going to have us all make the parts the same colors because we're going to use this to answer some questions in a little bit. So my rectangle in the middle is going to be his belly. I'm going to use blue. It's kind of a light blue, really. So I'm making my rectangle, and the shape isn't perfect, and that's okay because we're really worried about the measurements right now. Inside my rectangle, I'm going to label it 1 gallon because that's the most amount of liquid I'm going to use in this lesson. And I'm going to abbreviate gallon, G-A-L. So 1 gallon. And after I write my label in there, I'm going to go ahead and color that. And notice that I'm going light enough that I'm still going to be able to see my labels underneath. And if you need to pause and then come back to this when you're ready, you can do that because I colored pretty quickly on my guy. Okay, so I have my gallon in the middle. So now I'm wondering, what does a gallon look like? Come with me. So this is 1 gallon of water. And if you look real close right here, it even tells me 1 gallon. So everything I do is going to involve this 1 gallon of water. Let's go back to our measurement man or gal. If we go from a gallon, which was big, and we want to go to the next size down, we're going to go to quarts. So I will tell you that it takes 4 quarts to make 1 gallon. So we're going to add our quarts on each side of his body right here. I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to make 4 rectangles. These are kind of like his shoulders and the top part of his legs. Now, the reason I'm making 4 is because it's going to take 4 quarts to make 1 gallon, which I will prove to you in just a minute. But first, I want to label my quarts. 1 QT for quart. 1 QT for quart. 1 QT for quart. And 1 QT for quart. Remember, that stands for quart. Okay, so I'm going to take just a moment here and I'm going to color in his shoulders and the top part of his legs. And remember, it takes 4 quarts to make 1 gallon. That's why I'm making the top part of 2 legs and 2 shoulders. So now I need to prove it to you. Does it really take 4 quarts to make 1 gallon? Let's go check and see. So I'm going to pop the top off my gallon container, and you will notice here my container says 4 cups equals 1 quart. So I'm going to pour 1 quart of water in here. and it filled it right to the top line. I'm gonna move that one over. I'm going to pour another quart in here. There it is. And now, since I'm running out of room, I'm actually going to dump this out, and then we can fill up our jug again. So that's 2. There's my 3rd quart. And look at my gallon jug. I'm just about done. And there's my 4th quart. So now I dumped all of that out. And my jug is now empty. So 4 quarts in 1 gallon. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up my jug again because we're gonna start with it full to do the next part. And the next measurement we're going to work with after quarts is pints. So you can see I'm using water. I'm filling my jug back up again. Do you know how much I'll have when this whole jug is full? Yep, you guessed it, 1 gallon. Now, can you also tell me how many quarts of water are there in 1 gallon? We counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So I'm going to sit this here and we're going to head back over and we're going to talk about pints next. So I'm working on my handy dandy measurement robot and I'm going to next add my pints. So here's what I can tell you. There are 2 pints in every quart. So I'm going to use green right now, and I'm going to make 2 pieces right here on my robot for pints. And I'm going to make 2 pieces right here. This is a fancy robot. 2 pieces right here. It's not human, that's how we can get away with this. And 2 pieces right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means there's 8 pints in 1 gallon. Let's go ahead and label these. 1 pint, and pint is P. 1 pint, because probably you don't want to have to spell those words every single time you write an answer. So P is our shortcut. And you already know I'm all about taking a shortcut if we can do it. So 1 pint. Remember, it's a P. 1 pint. P. 1 pint. P. And 1 pint. P. And definitely don't shortcut on making our measurement man or measurement robot. We're going to need this guy to answer some questions. So we definitely want to make sure that we make the robot. This guy's actually going to give us all of our answers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the bottom parts of his arms and the bottom parts of his legs tell us that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints in 1 gallon, or I can also see that there's 2 pints in 1 quart. Let's go try it with our gallon jug. Okay, so I have my handy dandy pint container right here. And if we're correct, there should be 8 of these in our gallon jug. So there's our first pint. I'm going to go ahead and dump that in there. Let's get our second pint. Pint number 2. By the way, when I put these together, 2 pints made a quart. There's another pint. That's 3. 4. And what do you know? 2 pints made 1 quart, just like our measurement robot. There's another one. And another one. That should mean that there's 2 pints left. There's 1 pint. I'm out of room in my jugs. And what do you know? We're empty. That's our last pint. So we had 8 pints in our gallon jug. The next thing we're going to talk about is cups. How many cups do you think will fit inside this gallon jug? Let's go add them to our robot and see if we're correct. So I'm back to my robot again, and I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to get orange because I think it would be pretty easy to see through orange. And if you were looking closely at my pint container, you may have noticed that I drew a line about halfway on my pint container and I wrote the word 1 cup. So that tells me to go all the way to the top of the pint container, it took 2 cups. So I'm going to now add some fingers on here. This is where it gets kind of tricky because these are small. So fingers or grippers. So it took 2 cups to make 1 pint. So 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup. And I'll bet you're wondering, what's the abbreviation for cup if I had abbreviations for all these other things? If you decide to shortcut and you don't want to write the whole word cup, it's a C. So just a letter C. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup. I'm kind of out of room over there. 1 cup for his pinchers or his fingers. 1 cup. And we can't forget the bottom. You notice that everything has been equal so far. It's almost like talking about fractions, isn't it, 3rd grade? So I'm going to go down here and we're going to give him some toe pinchers. Whoops. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Those are some long toes. 1, 2. We're going to go ahead and label those. 1 cup. What is our abbreviation? Just the letter C. 1 cup. 1 cup. 1 cup. 1 cup. 1 cup. 1 cup. And 1 more cup. So we're going to color all those cups orange. The good thing is, because they're so little, we can color them quickly and easily. But notice you can see through and see my labels. That's the biggest thing. Don't color so dark that you can't see your labels. Those labels will be really important when we answer some questions. So let's investigate here for a second. If we are correct when we go get all of our water out of the gallon jug, it looks like there should be 2 cups in 1 pint. So that means if I have 2 pints, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. And in 1 quart, it would mean that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. So everything keeps moving in. So if I wanted to talk about a gallon, it should mean that we are going to have all of these cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 cups in 1 gallon. So 2 cups in 1 pint, 4 cups, because they're all on the same leg, 4 cups in 1 quart, and then all of them, 16 in 1 gallon. Let's see if that really works. All right, we'll see if I don't make too much of a mess. I'm going to use a funnel, and we are going to start with 1 cup. We're going to see if we can fill up our gallon. Whoops. 1 cup. Let's put it in our gallon jug. There's 1. There's 2. Now, we also know the 2 cups made 1 pint. There's 3. And there's 4. Oh, spilled some. That's why I have that mat underneath. So there's 4 cups, and I know that 4 cups makes 1 quart. So 4 cups. Let's keep going. Oh, that could be a mess. This one will be much easier to use. Okay, so far we have 4. You would love it if this was in the classroom and I was spilling it on the floor, wouldn't you? There's 5. Six. 7. 8. So 8 cups equaled 2 quarts. We're going to use this at the same time. There's 9 cups. Ten cups. 11 cups. 12 cups. 13 cups. 14 cups. 15 cups. 16 cups, and you know what? I have to put a little bit in for when my cup was empty. So 16 cups. Wondering if we go back and watch this video, I'll bet I miscounted. There's 16 cups. 16 cups. All right, let's head back to our measurement man. I keep saying it, measurement robot. Okay, so somewhere I miscounted there when I was counting. 1, 2, 2 cups makes a pint, 2 cups makes a pint, or 4 cups makes a quart. 2 pints make a quart. So if we want to talk about a gallon, we've got to add all of these things together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cups makes 1 gallon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 pints makes 1 gallon. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts makes 1 gallon. Now we made a pretty good measurement robot, but we're kind of missing something on here, aren't we? We need to put some kind of a head on, and that's where you get to show your creativity. So you can add any kind of a head to the top of this that you would like. And again, get creative. This is your part. You don't have to follow any color guidelines. It's all up to you, how you make it. I'm even going to give him a little radar dish up here. After all, his brain is working pretty hard. Kind of thinking he needs some kind of a metal nose. I think my measurement person is done. Maybe some ears. We would want him to hear all this great work that we're doing. And maybe some shoulders. We should connect so he doesn't lose his arms. Same with his legs. So there we go. We spiffed him up just a little bit. And you can make this part as fancy as you want to. Now, when we were in social studies class at the beginning of the year, we talked about maps and map keys. We're gonna make a little math key for our robot man. So down here in the corner, I'm going to make a measurement key. So I know that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. I know that 1 gallon equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints. PT. P. I know that 1 gallon equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 cups. And we could keep going with our measurement key. We could say that 2 cups equals 1 pint. The possibilities seem endless here. We know that 4 cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, equals 2 pints, or it equals 1 quart. Equals 1 quart. We know that 2 pints equals 1 quart. So many options here, but this is going to be a good start for some questions that I'm going to have for you. Because how do we take this information and turn it into questions about measurement? And I have some of those on my board. So let's take a look at our measurement questions right now. And I'm going to bring my measurement man, measurement robot with me to answer my questions. So let's take a look at the first question. It says 13 gallons equals how many pints? Well, I'm going to look down here. If I have 13 of those, oh my gosh. Well, there are 8 pints in every gallon. So if I have 13 gallons and there are 8 pints in every gallon, I'm gonna have to multiply that and put it all together. And right now you're saying, but you didn't make us learn our 13s, but we sure do know break apart. So I know that I can do 10 times 8 and 3 times 8 to get the answer. And then I know that I can just put those together and end up with that. So 13 gallons is actually equal to 104 pints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 13 gallons times 8 equals 104. Whew, that was some very big math. Let me get a paper towel and I'm going to erase that. And we're going to try our next one. So let's go to our second question. If I have 48 cups, how many quarts is that? Well, I'm going to look here. 48 cups. If I have 48 of them, how many quarts would that equal? Well, there's 4 cups in 1 quart. So if I take 48 divided by 4, because there's 4 in 1 quart, I'm going to know the answer to that right there. So how am I going to do 48 divided by 4? I'll tell you what, it's going to be easier if we do the 48 inside the house. That's our dividend. Remember, our divisor goes at the door. Now watch this handy dandy trick. I'm going to say how many 4s go in 4? 1. How many 4s go in 8? 2. And we already know that we will find our quotient on top of the roof. So I know that there are 12 quarts. So 48 cups equals 12 quarts. So another way I can check myself, remember on my measurement guide, 4 cups were in 1 quart. So if 4 cups are in 1 quart, that means 8 cups are in 2 quarts, 12 cups in 3 quarts, and I would keep going all the way up to 48. And what we're going to find is we're going to get to this magic number, 12 quarts. Let's try this next one, 28 pints. So let's look at our measurement guide. So 28 pints, here they are. Those are the green parts. So 28 of those, how many quarts would that equal? Well, I know that there are 2 pints in 1 quart. So I'm going to take 28 divided by 2. Now, most of you already know that when we divide by 2, it just means we're going to cut that number in half. But I really like using this method up here. So I'm going to put that 28 inside my house. That's the dividend, the big number. I'm going to put my 2 at the door. That's the divisor. And now I'm going to do a little bit of division. So how many 2's are in 2? You're right, 1. How many 2's are in 8? Let's skip count and figure it out. 2, 4, 6, 8. 4. So now my quotient is on the ceiling, 14. So I'm going to put my 14 up here. So 28 pints equals 14 quarts. A way to check myself, for every quart there are 2 pints. So 14 times 2 is 28. And I have some more problems here that we can work on together. You try it. 11 gallons, how many cups does it equal? So if I have 11 of these, how many cups am I going to have? Remember, if I'm going from big to small, I want to multiply that. So 11 gallons for, we would have 4, 8, 12, 16 in every gallon. Can you figure that out? Okay, I'm going to put my cap on. I'm going to give you some time to think, and we'll come right back.